recording and stuff, and didn't do much comedy, you know. But yeah, it was a great show, and trying to have him back, but he needs to. He told me that he wants first to create some new material before coming back, you know. So, but that was an incredible show. Yeah, he's a really lovely guy as well. So yeah, who else? Yeah, John Colleary from Ireland, you know, excellent comedian. Usually the Irish, the Scots and Canadians do really well in Brussels, and sometimes Americans have a little more of a more difficult time with at least with my crowd.
Mm.
You know, only Russell Hicks, yeah, really good, or Alubel, but Alubel is not of this world. You know, it's just a UFO, you know, in comedy, but so clever, you know, so clever, and yeah, comedy really, you see the people, you watch the crowd, and everybody is like, what the fuck, you know, and this is really, I I love this, I love this. When you're like, what's happening here, you know? But it's just Alubel, you know, and yeah, really good. But then all the stories with Alubel, you know, is
He is a character.
yeah. Sorry.
He's a character, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also recently, I mean, that was 2 weeks ago, I had Jack Leto, and this guy
Oh,
is really, really good. He did really well. Yeah, I'm bringing him back in July, I think. I didn't know him at all. You know, it was his agent, and actually, I needed a replacement act, just like that, with just a few days to you know before the show, and he was available, and he did great. Really, really nice comedian as well. So yeah, I think that quite many comedians who, I mean, once they done Brussels, if they do good, I put them in contact with other promoters in Europe as well, and so they can start, yeah, getting more gigs outside of the UK with the different crowds. And I think that can also build their act also when they go back to the UK. You know, they become more. I would not say mainstream. It's not the proper word. It's more. Yeah, they can adapt to different crowds, because I think a comedian has to be able to do that, and sometimes it can be very difficult because you have your own act, your own persona on stage, but if the crowd doesn't get it, you're dead, and you can be dead for 10 minutes, for 15, for 20, and this can be the very, very long minutes, you know. Yeah,
hmm.
yeah.
There's a lot. Do you get any comics from America, or is it mostly from UK and the rest of Europe?
I will have John Hastings in October. I think he's from Canada, I think, right? From America, I didn't get many. Um, because usually would be like these really well-known comedians that come over, and then they do bigger venues with bigger promoters, and actually, I don't know why, but the Americans sometimes, for me or for my crowd, I think that they would not do as well as European or UK comedians.
Hmm.
Um, I don't want to generalize, but sometimes I think that American comedians, just by talking loud or saying curse words, would think that shocking is funny. And with an educated audience, it's not. So with the audience I have, sometimes it just doesn't work. But I've had a few Americans who are really nice, but yeah, but sometimes I've been offered some like really big names. I said, no. But if I tell you the names, you would be like, what? You said not to this guy, but it just would not work for here, you know.
Hmm.
On the contrary, Australians or New Zealand, like Damien Clark, but I mean he lives in Dublin, but Australian comedian, excellent. There is a guy in Amsterdam. His name is Bob McLaren, and he's a Kiwi. He doesn't perform much anymore, but he is brilliant. And I will have Luke Kidgel. He's coming in August, and I was totally amazed because I don't know him. So his agent, who is the brother, got in touch with me saying, "Hey, we're doing a European tour in August," and I'm like, "Wow, August, summer, everyone's gone in Brussels." So they wanted to be in a big venue, and I said, "No, I can't. I just tried to do the usual, the comedy club, Irish bar where I have the show, which is capacity for approximately 90. Yeah, and I didn't do any promo. I didn't put it online. I mean, I had not put it online on the Facebook and social media yet, and but they put the show, the tour, online on their websites on Monday past Monday, and it sold out in 2 hours. So I was like, this guy has a following actually. So I added a late show, also sold out. So now I'm putting him also in another venue a few days later in a 200-seat venue. And we might also need to do two shows on the same day. So it was totally unexpected because it's a bad moment of the year. A comedian I don't know, and boom. So yeah, you never know what can happen. I didn't expect that he would say that much and so fast. So
Mm.
sometimes you have, and sometimes you have like a really, really famous comedian and it doesn't sell as you would expect, and you do a lot of work for promotion. I had this a couple times, and so what I realized, and what many comedians or promoters realize here, is that sometimes it's not the name of the comedian that will bring the crowd, because mm, most they come to a comedy show to enjoy comedy. They don't specifically know the comedian. I mean, sometimes they do when they would come for that person, but that would be like maybe 10% or 20% of the audience. But most of them, they know there is a comedy show and they would come anyway because they know that usually they have good time. So sometimes I get agents saying, "Oh, get this one for that fee," and I'm like, "I can't offer that fee." "Yeah, but he's really well known," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that doesn't change anything. I can sell out with someone else." For and make I mean for better numbers for me. Uh, and also, like I told you about these European comedians, some of them are doing really well, and the people love them because they have all these uh, not cliches, but these insights from a comedian outside of Belgium coming to perform in Belgium for a crowd that is not Belgian, live in Belgium.